Hey, what's up, guys? So, there is a new Fire Emblem game coming out a week from yesterday, so this coming Monday, I believe. And there hasn't been a Fire Emblem game here in the States for a long time. And for any of you who are familiar with the Fire Emblem series, it's actually really old. It's one of Nintendo's oldest franchises. Goes back to the days of The Legend of Zelda. It's like, what would that be? Like 25 or 26 years old now. And we actually didn't get one here in the States until after the release of Super Smash Bros. Melee, when they had Marth and Roy as characters in that game. And then we got one or two of them on the GBA, and then the Fire Emblem Path of Radiance on the GameCube. And then we also got, I forget the title of the one on the Wii. But then there's this one, which is called Shadow Dragon on the Nintendo DS. And this is actually a remake of the original Fire Emblem on the Famicom. So this is the original first Fire Emblem adventure, basically. Remade for the Nintendo DS. And I love this game. This is my favorite Fire Emblem game that I've played. And I've played all of them that we've gotten here in the States. Anyways, so I'm way pumped for a new Fire Emblem game to come out. So, I'm going to be playing Fire Emblem all week long. I'm going to be doing this one, and then all the others I should be able to get to before the game comes out next Monday. And then maybe I'll do a video on that, but I have no way of capturing a 3DS. So I might just have to, like, film the 3DS, but we'll see. Anyways, I want to show you what this is all about. It's one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. And if you guys haven't played it, I think you'll really enjoy it. So let's get started. Alright, so like any good strategy game, you have the option to set up your army before you go into battle. And these are all the characters that I've collected so far. There are always lots of characters in Fire Emblem games, and you kind of collect them as you go, which you'll see here in a bit. But you get to choose which characters to leave behind and which to bring with you into battle. But first thing you need to do is go and look at the map. Who are we going to be fighting here? As you can see here, there's a bunch of cavalry units that wield spears. This guy here has an armor slayer. We're going to have to watch out for that. I'll talk about that when the time comes. So I got a couple archers here. This guy's got Rider's Bane, which is a weapon that we can pick up after killing him. A few more archers, and this knight over here. Got two bridges here. One to the north side. A large bridge here, but I don't think we need to worry about that. And then kind of this small stretch of land here. Now what you want to do in Fire Emblem, and lots of strategy games for that matter, is go to areas that are bottlenecked and put your strongest troops there to kind of like hold those areas so that you can't get surrounded. So I'm just kind of checking out the lay of the land here. Also, there's a character up there that we can actually recruit to our side, so we're gonna have to watch out for him too. Now this thief here, Julian, we don't need him for this fight because there's nothing for him to loot really in this level. So let's go ahead and get him out. And we'll pick this character here, who's a much better fighter. I'm trying to find a way to include Lena. I need to bring Lena into this fight. I'm pretty sure she's necessary to recruit one of the guys for this battle, so I'm going to get rid of that. Yeah. Get rid of that axe-wielding guy there. Let's go to the inventory. Now this is something that's important too. You want to make sure that you set up your units with the proper inventory. Make sure the vulneraries are kind of like potions, so you want to use those to heal people. Usually you kind of want to set up like 3 or 4 of your guys as like commanders, so to speak. Guys that'll kind of be the strongest in the groups. Actually, in this level, I'll probably just send out 2 groups to 2 different areas. But you want to make sure that like your strongest characters are the ones that have the vulneraries and the support for the rest of the guys in their group. I think I'm going to have Marth take one group one way, and I'll probably have Jagan here take another group the other direction. Oh, one thing I do want to talk about before I kind of switch over here is that you can see these numbers next to the weapons. Weapons in this game, eventually break. They only have a certain number of uses, and then eventually they'll break. So you have to make sure that you keep your army, you have to keep your armory up to date. Make sure that you have weapons for your units, because if their weapons break and you aren't buying new ones to replace them, then eventually you're not going to have anything to fight with. So inventory management is a really big part of this game. There are all kinds of armories you can hit up to buy new weapons, and you can even forge weapons too, which is pretty cool. Actually, I think I'll show that off here in just a second. Alright, so I think I've got everybody pretty much set here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the forging mechanic in this game. So you go to your armory here, but let's go to forge here, and you can choose your unit and go to one of the weapons that they have equipped, and you can kind of manage the stats here, and it costs a certain amount of money. So take the hit percentage up to 100 and the crit up to 10, which is pretty good. Take the weight down, because that'll make your character faster. Actually, let's not do that much though, it's going to cost a lot. And the might, or basically strength, basically, of the weapon. So now Marth is going to be a total beast with these stats on this sword, meaning that he'll probably be able to one-shot just about anybody he comes across, which is good, because I want Marth to be getting as many killing blows as possible, because killing blows are worth a lot more experience than just like getting into a fight and going back and forth with a unit. So we want Marth to get as many killing blows as possible. This sword is going to become a total beast after I'm done kind of messing around with... Oh, shoot. I hit B on accident. Okay, this time we actually did it right. Okay, and then you can name your sword, which is pretty cool. Or just any weapon you're forging. So let's just call this, in regular English, Beast Sword. Am I going to have enough room for sword? I don't think so. Let's try it anyway. Beast Sword. Dang it! Okay, let's call it Beast then. Delete those, and Beast is now Marth's new main weapon. But it cost a lot of money, as you saw. I spent basically all my money on that, so... Go ahead and save before we go into the fight, and all of this preparation we've done before the battle will be saved. I do want to move my units around, though. I want all my sword wielders to be over here on the right-hand side to go and face the axe guys. And the reason why is because they kind of have like a rock, paper, scissors sort of mechanic in this game, where swords beat axes, axes beat lances, and lances beat swords. So you need to kind of plan which units you want to fight, depending, like going into a situation. If you have a bunch of axe wielders like we do on the right, on the east side of the map, you want sword wielders to go fight them. We have a bunch of lance wielders over here on the left side, so we're going to want our axe wielding guys to go over there, and lance wielders as well. So let's go ahead and move our sword guys up here to kind of block this direction. Actually, I think I just made a fatal mistake. Yes. Okay, so you can select the enemy units and see their range of attack, and you see how I just put my unit right inside of that range of attack? He's going to die on the next turn. The reason I'm not going to start this over, though, is because that's actually a really important thing and a big mechanic of the game that's probably important to show. When your units die in this game, they are dead forever. They are gone. There is no reviving them. They go to 0 HP. It is over for them. So it's really crazy, because there are tons of different units that you can, like this one here, Mathis, we can recruit him to our side. And your army can become huge. You can recruit all kinds of different characters. But yeah, when they die, they are dead forever. They are gone. There is no bringing them back. So... this is one of my strongest units I just put right into enemy fire, and he's going to die on this turn. And so the fun part for me in playing Fire Emblem is going through and trying to keep all my units alive through the whole game. Never lose even one unit the whole time. It's really challenging, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to take all my other dudes this direction. Go ahead and attack this thief here. He'll probably die in one hit. Jagan is one of my strongest units right now, and it's because he's actually an advanced class. So that's something I should talk about too, the classes in Fire Emblem. So every unit, they're all different classes. You have healers, which are called clerics. You have cavaliers, which are like the base level of these horse riding units here. You have archers, what are they called? Myrmidons, I think. That's like a kind of just a fast sword wielding guy. You have thieves, Pegasus knights like this chick right here. And most of them can rank up in class, so their class can advance to a higher class, basically. Anyways, so yeah, you level these guys up over time, and you can advance them to the next stage of the next advanced class, basically, and they become a lot stronger. So you kind of want to balance your units as far as like who gets however many kills in each level, so that they will all level up kind of equally together, rather than just having one guy go and take everybody out and then not sharing the experience amongst the rest of your army. Because later on, you're going to have some pretty complicated levels. As you saw, Ogma just died there. You have some pretty complicated levels, and you're going to need your entire army to be very balanced. So you kind of have to manage that. You have to manage, okay, who is getting a lot of experience right now, who needs more experience. There's a lot of strategy just in building your army, aside from like battle tactics and that sort of thing. So we're going to come over here and the key in this game is to try and draw the enemy to you. You don't want to send your guys blindly into an area where they are open to attack. You want to maybe send like a really powerful defensive unit, if possible, into the area in the range of attack, and then draw them out to you, and then make sure that they don't get a hit in, they don't get an attack in, and you can get the first attack in. Alright, so that ends that guy's attack phase. But here's a problem. This guy has a special weapon called an Armor Slayer, which is really good against knights, against heavily armored units. He almost killed me there. That's not good. I cannot let this guy die. He's like one of the most important units in my army because he can take so much damage. And he can get on bridges and kind of like narrow bottlenecking areas and really hold those and like keep my army from being surrounded or being routed from behind and stuff like that. So I need to keep him alive. Now this unit, Lena, she can actually warp units, which is really cool. So I can just warp Marth over here to any space basically on this map. But I'm going to put him right over here. There. Oh, this is something I should talk about. So there's terrain that you need to keep in mind too when you're playing the game. Like there's forested areas where if your unit is standing on like one of these squares with a tree on it, that's a forested area. If your unit is standing inside of that and the enemy unit is not inside of a forested area, your evasion will actually go way up. It's a lot harder for them to hit you. Let me heal this guy first here. There we go. Now I gotta make sure I kill this guy with the Armor Slayer before he gets another attack off, so let's move you over here. Shoot him from a distance. Anyways, yeah, there are lots of different terrain tiles that can give you advantages, like if there's a castle tile that you're standing on. Every turn you'll actually be healed a little bit, and you have higher defense when you're on one of those tiles. So terrain plays a big role in strategy in the game. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. I hope he doesn't kill my archer, because this is one of the guys I can recruit! Okay, didn't even really get that. No, don't attack twice! I need to get Lena over here to talk to this guy, because I don't think there's anyone else in my army that can bring him over to our side that can recruit him. It's like, maybe Marth can talk to him, but I don't think so. I'm going to take Marth this way, actually. Where are you? Lena's way over here! See, the dumb thing is that healers, like clerics and stuff, they can't heal themselves. They can't use spells on themselves. So she has this warp spell. I could just warp her right next to him and talk to him. But she can't use the spell on herself, which kind of sucks. Now I need to move all of my weak dudes out of the way so that none of them will get attacked and killed by Merrick here, or Mathis. Let's put my cavalry units and my knight kind of blocking off this path so that hopefully Mathis won't go attack them. Let's move this archer out of here. And move this guy here. There we go. Just kind of block him off. Put him in the forested area. Okay, get over there. Yeah, see these two here? These are forested areas. So I'm going to put these two guys onto those. So in case Mathis decides to attack them, he'll have a lower chance of hitting them. So, he only has a limited number of choices here to attack. And I don't think he'll attack Lena because... He's attacking Lena? Are you kidding me? This is his freaking sister. Sorry, that's kind of a spoiler, but she's going to say it here in just a second anyway. That's so stupid. I thought he would attack anyone but her. Whatever, at least he came over here. So yeah, you can you have to use specific units depending on the level and depending on the character. And you can use, like in this instance, I couldn't have recruited Mathis with anyone else except for Lena. So I had to bring her to this fight. If I had not brought her to the fight, I would not have been able to recruit Mathis to my army. So, you know, there's those sorts of things you have to keep in mind when you're preparing for battle as well. Alright, I've got everybody healed up and ready to go. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is move my knight right here onto this bridge. And he should be able to block off any attackers coming from the north. So all the rest of my army should be safe, and he can definitely take anything that these guys have to deal with. But what I want to do is put Marth right here under this village tile. You can go and visit the village, and we can recruit a new character, Merrick. And Merrick is a mage. He's actually the first mage that you can recruit in this game. So he can use magic. And these knight characters happen to be extremely weak to magic. So that's going to be really useful here in just a second to get this other knight out of the way. 2 damage. Nice. Anyway, that's not really important. The important part is that he's blocking everybody off. Because now we're going to be able to bring Merrick in here and use his magic from a distance. He can't be attacked from this distance by this guy, but he will kill him in one hit. Freak yes. Keep everybody else outside of this range of fire here. And let's hope that he gets missed. Please miss. You see the background is forested? That means that his evasion is much higher. And his evasion is already pretty high already for his... What is this? How did not... That was bullcrap. One of those should have missed. He already has high evasion, plus he's in a forested area. They should have totally missed. Hey, he didn't kill him in one hit. That's crazy. See, you don't get as much experience for just, like, you know, attacking as you do for doing a finishing blow, so... Finishing blows are where you're going to want to send the people that need the most experience. Okay, I think I am prepared now to go ahead and start attacking this guy. Now, he's carrying a Rider's Bane, which is a weapon that's effective against cavalry, so we don't want to directly attack him with any of our cavalry units. So Jagan's out of the question, so we'll send Drog in there, do a little damage, and then we'll want to shoot him from long range, because he doesn't have a long range weapon, so he cannot retaliate against these archers. And one of my cavalry units over here, actually this guy has a hand axe, so we can attack him from 2 squares away. Nice. Oh, missed him the second time. Okay, so I want to give my Pegasus Knight the killing blow, but she'll be one-shotted if I don't get him at least a little... Oh, he got a critical. Okay, my plan was to get him down to like 2 HP and then send in my Pegasus Knight to finish him off, but he got a critical hit there, so he gets the killing blow, which is fine. And we get Rider's Bane, which is nice. Now I can take out cavalry units really easily. Let's go ahead... I can't talk today. Go ahead and seize this tile and win this level. So anyways, that's kind of an introduction to Fire Emblem. Hopefully it makes sense. Anything that I wasn't able to cover in this video, I will be covering in the other Fire Emblem games I'm going to play this week. So if you have any questions specifically, let me know in the comments. I'll try and cover them as best as I can in one of the other Fire Emblem games I play before the release of Fire Emblem Awakening this next Monday. Thanks for watching. Peace!